Hi and welcome back to the Game School Dad channel with me, Martin, and today we're going to be looking at Magic the Gathering Arena, and we're going to be playing through the colour challenges, going through each colour. First up we have the white colour challenge. Okay, and here we go with the white colour challenge. So, for the colour challenges, we will play our colour deck, a single colour deck, against each of the 4 other colours and learn some of the strategies that we can use in our colour versus the other ones. So, first of all, we have white against red. So let's get started and face the red deck. So, the white deck, Keep the Peace, that's in the colour challenge, is mostly made up of creatures that gain life and creatures that gain a benefit from gaining life. So, first of all, we need to play out our land. Our creatures all require at least, well, they all require 2 mana, so can't play anything yet. And the red deck here, Goblins, requires or uses creatures that are fast and do lots of little bits of damage, so we need to get some big creatures to block them. Okay, we have Hallowed Priest. Whenever we gain life, we put a +1/+1 counter on the Hallowed Priest, so it goes from a 1/1 to a 2/2 to a 3/3. Every time we gain life, we add another counter onto it. We have the Impassioned Orator, where another creature enters the battlefield under our control. We gain 1 life, so the gain life here affects the Hallowed Priest. And the Shrine Keeper, which doesn't have any other ability, but once we put that in with the Orator there, it will also gain life. So, first of all, we need to put down our Orator, because that will gain life for us when we put these priests out. And because it's a 2/2, we can block their 1/1s. They're not going to attack because they don't want to lose them. So we have our 3rd Plains, and we're going to put out a Hallowed Priest. So that enters, we gain a life off the Orator, and a counter goes onto the Priest. Now we could attack, but if they block us with both their creatures, they can kill the Orator, and then I don't have this life gain trigger anymore. So I'm not going to attack, because I want to keep that life gain trigger. I want to keep gaining life every time a creature comes out. Okay, 4th land, and now we have another Orator, so we have options. We could play the other Orator, so that will enter the battlefield, the Priest will get bigger, and then we can put something else out, like put out the other Priest, that will gain 2 counters. That's probably the best way to grow our creatures faster. So that will trigger and grow this one, and then when we put this one out, because we have 2 Orators now, we will gain 2 life in 2 separate triggers. So we put 2 counters on both of those creatures. So now they're getting pretty big. He has 2 1/1s, a 2/3, so we could attack with this Priest here and be pretty safe. He can block with 1 to stop taking the damage, but we're going to start working through his creatures, take them out 1 by 1 if we have to. Okay, another land. We have 5 mana now. Now we have this Commander, which we can put out next turn. We have another land, we'll have 6. That's what we need to put this out. And this one will allow us to gain 1 life, just like the Orator, and draw a card if a creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield. So we could put the Shrine Keeper out now. We could save it for later on, but if we put it out now, we're going to grow these creatures really fast, grow the Priests, and I'm going to attack with both of them, because the opponent's going to have to either block or take some damage, or a bit of both, and we're going to start working them down. Okay, they have a 4/4 Flying Haste Dragon, and their Raid Bombardment, whenever they attack with this creature, because it has power 2 or less, will do an extra 1 damage to us. Now we could block, but to be honest, we're gaining life basically every turn, and our creatures are getting stronger, so we don't really need to worry about a life total. Put out our Commander, we gain 2 more life, so we're still gaining life faster than they can take it down, or fast enough. And now they have no blockers, so actually what we could do is we could attack with everything, and they couldn't do anything about that. So there you go, that's the white deck against the red one. Grow your creatures until they're too big to deal with. and then take out their creatures one by one if you have to. Okay, right, so after the red deck, we have white versus black. So let's play white versus black. So in the black deck, they have creatures that will grow stronger, get counters like our priest, when they manage to kill our creatures. Or grow stronger when they do damage to us. Or they also have death touch creatures. So, okay. Plains death touch, meaning that if it does any damage to us, it will kill our creature. Even if it's a 10/10, a death touch creature will kill it. So let's do our plan with this deck. The orators first, hope they survive. Now this is one that grows when a creature dies. We could block here. We want our life gain trigger, so we're going to take 1 damage, knowing that we're actually going to be fine. Let's put this one out now. Could have put the priest out first. It would pretty much work out being the same either way, because next turn we'll have a priest that will get 2 counters on it, which would have been the same if we did it the other way around. In fact, we would have done slightly more damage if we put the priest out first. But either way, we get ourselves a 3/3 priest. We can attack with both of these. He could block, but he would lose his creature. He doesn't really want to lose his creature. Okay, a flying 4/4. If this creature does damage to one of our creatures and then our creature dies, then it will get a counter on it. We don't want to block the rat. We're going to keep taking that 1 damage because we know we can regain some life. Okay, we have an aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 and has flying. So if we could put it on our priest, it's going to be a 6/6 flyer. Put it on an orator here, it'll be a 5/5 flyer. Either way, it's going to get big enough to get past the vampire. We could go either way. I would probably normally put it on the orator because we know the priest is going to get stronger anyway. To be honest, either way would pretty much work here. So we're going to take that damage. I don't mind taking the damage because I know I'm going to get some life back. So let's attack with this. Or put that out, I mean gain some life gain. Gain some triggers here, some counters. And I'm going to attack with everything because we want to do some damage. He's going to have to block. Goes down to 2 life. We have such big creatures. We can't do much about this right now. We even have tactical advantage here if we want to use that. But we don't need it. We can keep taking the damage. And then... oh, this is a good one. Leonin War Leader. Although we don't need it because we are going to kill him this turn anyway. All those life gain triggers. And let's just attack with everything. Because no matter what he does, he can't kill us. He can block the orator, but we can even give it +2/+2, so it'll be a 4/4 against his 4/4, and it'll take out his vampire anyway. So there we go, -15, look at that. Okay, well that's black taken down with the white deck. Okay, and these colour challenges are all set cards against set cards, so it's not actually random, it's trying to teach you a specific way of playing by bringing out certain cards in certain orders. So it's not random. You are designed to be able to win this if you follow the right pattern. If you don't put things out at the right time, the opponent might outgrow you. So yeah, we just have to follow the pattern here. So now it's white against blue. Right, so planes first of all. Now we've got different cards here from our deck. We don't have our life gain triggers. And our life gain, the life gain triggers from the orator and the life gain counters added from the priest. We have these Moorland Inquisitors instead. So they're 2/2 creatures, but they have this ability. We can pay 2 and a white mana to give this creature first strike until end of turn. So it will do its damage to the opponent's creature if it blocks, before it can do damage to us. So let's put out our planes. Now we can put this out. We're not going to gain life, so it's not going to get bigger. Not going to gain life yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with all. Now if he blocks one of these creatures and we just went to damage, my creature would die, his creature would die. But if we give it the extra first strike damage, we could use tactical advantage instead. I'm going to use first strike because I can keep tactical advantage for another time if I need it. I can do 2 damage to his creature with first strike before he does any damage to my creature. So there you go. I get to kill his creature, do 2 damage, and I've saved all the cards in my hand for later on. Right, now we have a 4/4. Right, let's put out our planes. We now have 5 planes. We could put out the priest, or we can wait to see what happens first. Let's attack with both of our creatures. So if he blocks, he could kill one of ours, but we want to give it first strike. And it's only going to do 2 damage at the moment, so we can even give it tactical advantage. So now it's a 4/4 with first strike, which will kill his 4/4 creature. We could put more tactical advantage on there, but it'd be a waste, because we don't need it to kill his creature. We want to try and get rid of the blockers as efficiently as possible, and keep these tactical advantages for when we actually need them. We don't want to waste any, because here's another air elemental. Okay, so I have no more lands. I can put out a priest. I can put out my Bond of Discipline. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. Now I really only want that when I have my Hallowed Priest out, which I'm not putting out yet because I'm just going to deal with these threats one at a time. Do the same thing again. Give it first strike. Tactical advantage makes it a 4/4. And let's just take the damage, go to damage. Kill his creature, do 2 damage to him. So we have these cards left in our hand for when we need them. And another air elemental. Good thing we have more tactical advantages. Do the same thing again. Attack. We're going to let him choose which one to block, because we could give it the ability first of all, but then he would just block the one without first strike. So we're going to let him decide where to block, and then we're going to activate our ability. But we're getting through his creatures one at a time, wearing down his hit points slowly. And what do we have next? 1 less to cast if you have a creature with flying, which he doesn't. It's drawing more cards. And he has a 2/1 out. Okay. Still no more lands. We can give something +3/+3 and flying. Or we could put out a priest. We give 1 +3/+3 and flying. We can hit with a 5/5. If we put out a priest, we could use Bond of Discipline on next turn. Maybe I'll do that for now. Again, use the abilities our creatures have ahead of using our cards if possible. Which means we keep these cards in our hand for when we need them. Let's do some damage. And I have enough mana left over now to play my priest out. So I have another creature out on the board. And we are up to 2/1 flying. And another 2/1 flying. Okay. So, next land. Let's see. I do have enough mana to attack with both of these. See if he blocks both of them. And give them both first strike. So that one has first strike. This one has first strike. I'm just going to kill his creatures. I don't want to attack with the priest, because if you block the priest would have died. Okay, next. Creatures get +3/+3. No, creatures, sorry. Flying creatures get +1/+0. It starts as a 3/3. Right, so we have 7 mana out now. He's going to start doing damage to us that we can't block. We could give something +3/+3 and flying. That would make one of these a 5/5. So it could attack, he could double block, we could kill it. I think what I'm going to do is put out my Inspiring Commander, and I'm going to not attack for now. Because if he attacks me, I'll have no blockers left. Okay, right, let's see, he's attacking. Does some damage to me. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage I can do. Let's see. That's 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tap all his creatures. Let's do that. So yeah, let's tap all of his creatures. Go to combat. Attack with everything. So we're going to gain 6 life. Put +1 counters on here. And he can do 14 damage to us next turn. It's getting close. He can do some damage to us. But if he chooses to do that, he's going to do some damage to us, and he's going to be left with no defenses. So although this one's been close, we can then put out Angelic Reward or Sarah Angel if we want to. We don't even have to put anything out because he can't block anything. The life gain helped us just stay alive. Now there might be another way to do that, because it felt like that one went on a little bit longer than others. There might be another way to complete that, but either way, that got us there in the end. Okay, so white versus blue all done. Now we just have white versus green. So that's our last one today in our colour challenge. Let's see what we come out with against the green deck. And we have Fencing Ace, so a different card from our deck. This is a 1/1 with double strike. So, double strike means it will do the first strike damage and then it will do normal damage on top of that. So it'll actually do 2 damage to anything. And we have a 1/6 Vigilance Reach Spider. Now what can we do about this? We can put out a Plains. We can put out a creature now, but we can just leave it for a minute. We're going to attack. Now 1/1 against this 1/6. Because if we use Tactical Advantage, it's going to become a 3/3 double strike, which means we can take 3 damage and we'll actually do 3 damage twice, so that's enough to kill his creature. And we don't lose ours, and I can even put out another one next turn. Okay, so now we have 2 1/1 double strikes. And another 1/6 huge spider. Okay, so let's do it again. Attack. We're going to let him decide which one to block. Tactical Advantage can only be used on creatures that are blocking or blocked anyway, but there we go. So we'll put Tactical Advantage onto that one again, same as we did before, using those instants at the very last moment when he's already committed to blocking. And we have a 10/10. Okay, so five lands out now. We could attack. We can make it a 3/3 double strike. We could do 6 damage, which isn't enough to get past Gigantosaurus. But we also have Pacifism. We can enchant an opponent's creature, and that creature cannot attack or block. So, Pacifism on the Gigantosaurus. Now he can't do anything to stop us attacking. And it doesn't matter that we don't have defenders, because he can't attack us either. Okay, we have a 5/3 Hexproof Crocodile. Hexproof meaning if we want to do Pacifism, we can't pacify the crocodile because it has Hexproof. We can't target this with any spells or abilities. And this Pacifism card will target the crocodile. So we can't do that. But it's a 5/3, which means if we can do 3 damage to it before it does any damage to us, then we can still kill it. And we're not casting a spell on the crocodile. We're casting a spell on our own creature, which is absolutely fine. Hexproof won't stop us from doing that. So, kill the crocodile. Save that Pacifism just in case we need it. I have a feeling, here we go, we're going to need that other Pacifism anyway. So, let's pacify the other Gigantosaurus, take out all those threats, and do some more damage. 2 damage again from each of the Fencing Aces. We have a 4/4 Angel ready to go. So, we have 6 mana. We can do either of these for 5. We can put out a 4/4 Flying Vigilance creature, or give one of our creatures +3/+3 and flying. Now, if we give one of our creatures +3/+3, it's now a 4/4 double strike. So, this creature will do 8 damage by itself, and this one will do 2 damage by itself. So that's 10 damage from those 2 creatures. So the aura here, putting an extra bonus onto our double strike creature, is even better than putting out a relatively big creature of our own. So there you go. There's the white deck. Keep the peace against the red, the black, the blue, and the green. So next we are going to do the second colour challenge, and that's going to be in the next video. So for now, that's everything for our white colour challenge video. Leave a comment below if you get stuck anywhere on the white colour challenge, and if this has helped you with that at all, or if you have any other suggestions for getting past the colour challenge. And I will see you in the next video.